All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a sneak peek into the future, specifically what Google's AI world is going to look like in 2026. And trust me, it's ambitious.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. An AI that isn't just some app you open, but, well, a partner. It's woven into literally everything you do, helping you write an email, sure, but also helping scientists make huge medical breakthroughs. This isn't some movie plot. This is the reality Google is building right now. So we're going to break down this whole interconnected web of tools they've got planned. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the brains behind the whole operation. Then we'll get into the fun stuff, the creative tools, how it's changing work, and what it means for developers. After that, we'll cover the really big, world-changing science stuff, and finally, bring it all back to how you'll use it every single day. Okay, first stop, the foundational brains. You got to think of these as the powerhouse, the engine room for everything else we're about to see. This is the core intelligence that makes the whole ecosystem tick. And what's really cool here is how they're not just building one giant AI to do everything. No, it's all about specialization. You've got the main Gemini family, which is kind of the all-arounder. But then you have these specialists. Gemini DeepThink, that's for the super complex, multi-layered problems. Gemma 3 is for the developer community, giving them powerful tools to build with. And then you get even more specific with Gemma for medicine and Seek-LM for cybersecurity. It's like having a team of experts instead of just one generalist. It's all about having the perfect tool for the job. All right, so with those powerful brains in place, let's see what they can create. We're moving into the creative AI suite. I like to think of this as the art studio of the whole system. This is where AI stops being just a tool and starts being your co-creator, helping you dream up and make totally new things. And just look at the range here. It covers pretty much every creative field you can think of. If you're a visual artist, you've got Imagen 4 making these incredibly realistic images. Filmmaker, VO3 can generate high-quality, cinematic video from just a description. Musician, Lyria 3 is there to compose original music. And for all you writers out there, Whisk helps you craft your stories. But, and this is super important, they've also built in SynthID. It's a way to watermark and identify AI-generated stuff, which is absolutely critical for doing all of this responsibly. Okay, so AI can help us make art, music, and videos, which is awesome. But what about the daily grind? How does all this creative power translate into, getting our actual work done? Well, that brings us right here, the future of productivity. And we're not talking about small tweaks, like a slightly better spell check. No, the goal here is to completely reinvent how we work, to streamline everything and just supercharge how we collaborate.
And again, this is way more than just getting an AI to summarize your emails. Think about Gemini being right there inside your docs and sheets, helping you out as you go. Or Notebook LM, which is like having a personal research assistant that already knows all your notes and documents. You've got tools like Stitch and Mixboard for brainstorming sessions, making teamwork way more efficient. Even your photos get smarter with Pamelian Photoshoot. And for work, Google Vids becomes your go-to assistant for creating marketing or business videos. It's a lot.
Okay, we've talked about using the tools, but what about building with them? Let's switch gears and talk about the developers, the coders, the builders who are going to create the next generation of AI apps. This whole next part is about the toolkit Google is giving them. The big idea here is speed, making everything faster and easier. You've got something called Google Anti-Gravity, which is designed to just chew through complex coding tasks. The Jules tools are all about hunting down and squashing bugs in your code. Then, with the Vertex AI Agent Builder, developers can create their own custom AI agents. And it all comes together in the Google AI Studio, which is basically the main workshop for building and testing everything. The whole point? Let developers focus on the big, innovative ideas, not the tedious stuff. All right, so we've covered creativity, productivity, and development. Now, let's zoom out, way out. We're moving from building apps to trying to solve some of humanity's biggest, thorniest problems. This is where AI goes from being just helpful to potentially world-changing. I mean, the potential here is just staggering. You have Alethea, an AI that fact-checks scientific research. Then you have AlphaFold, which is already a complete game changer in biology, predicting how proteins fold. That could unlock cures for diseases. You've got WeatherNext 2 and Alpha Earth for better climate modeling, so important. And Genie 3 can actually generate playable, interactive worlds from data, which is incredible for running simulations. These aren't small things, they're huge leaps. Okay, wow. So we've seen the core brains, the creative tools, the work stuff, and these massive scientific projects. But what does it all mean for you on a Tuesday afternoon? How does all this tech actually show up in your day-to-day life? That's where your everyday AI assistant comes in. So let's break down how you'll actually interact with this stuff. You've got the Gemini app on your phone, right? That's your go-to AI assistant you can just talk to in real time. Then, that same power is built right into your Chrome browser, helping you as you surf the web. There's even a tool called Doppel for creating your own personalized digital avatars, and something called the Universal Commerce Protocol, which is basically a fancy way of saying it'll make your online shopping experience way smoother and more personalized. It's all about making this powerful AI something you can actually use easily every single day. So, let's step back and look at the big picture here. What are the main takeaways? Well, first, AI isn't one thing anymore. It's becoming super specialized for every possible field. Second, that old line between being creative and being productive, it's getting really, really blurry. And third, the ultimate goal is for all of this to be seamlessly integrated into, well, everything. So it's just a natural, almost invisible part of how we live and work. And that leaves us with one final and maybe the most important question of all. When we have an AI this powerful helping us create, work, discover, and just live, what's our role? What does it mean to be the human expert, the human creator, the one providing oversight? That's the huge question we're all going to have to figure out as this future becomes our reality. Something to think about, right? Thanks for joining me.